Shadows of the Midnight Crimes. Once upon a time, in the peaceful town of Serenity Springs, mysterious crimes began to unfold under the veil of darkness. The townspeople were perplexed by the strange occurrences that haunted their tranquil existence. Every night, a new crime would emerge, leaving them bewildered and fearful. It all began one stormy evening when the local bakery, renowned for its sumptuous pastries, was broken into. The owner, Mr. Jenkins, arrived early the next morning to find empty display cases and a shattered window. But what perplexed everyone was the fact that nothing was stolen. The townsfolk whispered amongst themselves, trying to make sense of this peculiar crime. As days turned into weeks, the crimes intensified. The beloved toy store became a target, with dolls mysteriously rearranged and stuffed animals missing limbs. The library experienced peculiar incidents too, as books flew off shelves and pages turned on their own accord. The theater suffered from malfunctioning equipment during performances, creating chaos and confusion among the actors. Authorities were baffled, unable to explain the source of these inexplicable crimes. As the grip of fear tightened, the townspeople sought solace within their community. They organized neighborhood watches, hoping to catch the culprit. But whoever was responsible for these misdeeds remained elusive. Enter Sarah, a young and enthusiastic amateur detective who had recently moved to Serenity Springs. Captivated by the enigma surrounding the town, she delved deep into the history of the town, searching for connections between the victims and clues that might unravel the mysteries. Her efforts led her to a forgotten tale from long ago, about a band of traveling performers who had met their tragic end on the outskirts of town. They were said to have been talented and charismatic, but their dreams had been cut short by a devastating accident. Sarah wondered if the restless spirits of those performers were behind the strange occurrences tormenting the town. Driven by curiosity and compassion, Sarah devised a plan to communicate with the spirits. She enlisted the help of a local medium, Mrs. Henderson, who possessed the ability to connect with the other realm. Together, they prepared a séance at the abandoned theater, hoping to bring some closure to the restless souls. As the clock struck midnight, the townspeople gathered nervously in the theater, their hearts heavy with anticipation. Mrs. Henderson channeled her energy, creating a bridge between the living and the departed. A hush fell over the room as the spirits slowly materialized, their ethereal forms cascading through the air. Through Mrs. Henderson's communication, the spirits revealed their intentions. They had been seeking justice for the injustice done to them all those years ago. They did not wish to cause chaos, but instead wanted their stories to be heard, their grievances acknowledged. Deeply moved by the spirit's plea, the townspeople listened intently, vowing to right the wrongs of the past. They organized memorials, dedicating plaques and performances to honor the lost performers. The crime ceased, and Serenity Springs returned to its peaceful state. Forever grateful for the gentle intervention of Sarah and the understanding brought forth by the spirits. And so, in the aftermath of these mysterious crimes, the unity within the community grew stronger. The town was forever changed, united by their shared experience of the unknown. Serenity was restored, and the legacy of the forgotten performers lived on, reminding everyone that even in the darkest of times, justice and empathy could bring light and peace to the shadows. Shadows of the Enigma. Once upon a time in the quaint town of Whispering Pines, a series of mysterious crimes began plaguing its peaceful inhabitants. These puzzling incidents left the community in a state of confusion and fear, as no one could fathom the identity of the perpetrator or their motives. The first crime occurred on an eerie moonlit night. The residents woke up to find their beloved garden gnomes mysteriously missing. Usually, such incidents would have been dismissed as childish pranks, but these peculiar disappearances were different. Each gnome vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a faint trail of footprints leading toward the nearby forest. Soon after, the town's bakery became a victim of an enigmatic burglary. The renowned baker, Mrs. Thompson, discovered her secret recipe book had vanished from its sacred hiding place. The pages contained generations' worth of cherished recipes, and losing them brought tears to her eyes. Again, the only clue left behind was a faint scent of vanilla wafting from the bakery door. Whispering Pines could no longer ignore the mysterious crimes unfolding within its borders. The townsfolk, filled with unease, gathered at the local community center to discuss the puzzling events. The town's sheriff, Sheriff McGregor, took center stage, promising to solve the riddle of these perplexing misdeeds. Days turned into weeks, but despite their best efforts, the townspeople remained oblivious to the identity of the mysterious criminal. Yet, the crimes continued unabated, each more baffling than the last. A flock of white doves disappeared from the churchyard, leaving behind nothing but feathers and unanswered questions. The local library, known for its vast collection of rare books, suffered from a similar fate when an ancient tome vanished into thin air without a single soul noticing. Desperation set in, but the townsfolk refused to surrender to fear. They formed a neighborhood watch, patrolling the streets and keeping a vigilant eye on every passerby, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive culprit. An atmosphere of suspicion slowly engulfed the town, as even the closest neighbors doubted one another. Through all the chaos, one resident, Miss Emily, emerged as an unlikely hero. An elderly woman with a sharp wit and an observant eye, she had spent her life pursuing riddles and mysteries. With her cane in hand, she began her own investigation, determined to uncover the truth behind the crimes that haunted Whispering Pines. Every night, Miss Emily sat outside her window, eyes fixed upon the darkened streets. She noticed peculiar movements, shadows darting amidst the lamplight's glow. Determined, she followed these ethereal figures, leading her deep into the forest. Within the heart of the woods, Miss Emily discovered a hidden lair, adorned with stolen treasures from the town. The missing garden gnomes stood silently while the stolen recipe book lay open on a table, displaying notes scribbled in elegant handwriting. It was then that Miss Emily realized the true nature of the crimes. The criminal mastermind turned out to be none other than Mr. Willoughby, the town's renowned illusionist. Once adored for his mesmerizing tricks, he had grown bitter and jealous as newer performers gained the limelight. Consumed by envy, he sought to reclaim his status by carrying out these mysterious crimes, hoping to confound the townsfolk and prove his skill once more. With the evidence in hand, Miss Emily confronted Mr. Willoughby, pleading with him to return the stolen items and abandon his life of deception. Overwhelmed by guilt and remorse, he relented and agreed to make amends, vowing to use his talents for good instead of causing havoc. Whispering Pines breathed a collective sigh of relief as the stolen treasures were returned to their rightful place. Mr. Willoughby, now reformed, performed his dazzling illusions at the local community center, bringing joy and amazement to both young and old. From that day forward, Whispering Pines knew peace once more. The town learned a valuable lesson about the destructive power of envy and the importance of forgiveness. And amidst the shadows of the enigma, they discovered that even in times of darkness, friendship and unity can shine a beacon of light to guide them through.